there are plenty of people who have figured out other ways to handle these types of things outside of what we already know. And, the baseline should be get healthy, get into a good diet, get into a good routine, and start figuring out your baselines within your blood. It's a very simple process when you put it down in brass tacks like that.
Right.
And it's an affordable one. It's not expensive. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. You can go to any doctor and ask for a blood test, and they're not going to say, well, why? They're going to be okay. Well, let's see what's going on here.
Right.
So, and that's the thing is like, again, it's find a good doctor, find those processes you need, think about it in all retrospect. If you need outreach, it's there, as we talk about this more in the future, we should start posting those types of things, because there's a lot of outreach for guys like us. And I'd like to see a much healthier process. We lose 7 out of 10, soldiers like within a month that literally process out of the military to suicide, to alcoholism, to drug addiction.
Right.
I mean, it's just insanity.
It is.
I mean, it's all due to the fact that, we live this lifestyle in the Army. We fight hard, we party harder, And that's not a bad thing, but what happens when that all goes away?
Right.
What are you going to do to be able to maintain a normal life outside of alcohol, outside of those camaraderies that you used to have?
Right.
And if you can't figure that out, the good start is maybe I should get in the gym. Maybe I should start eating a little healthier. Maybe I should get a blood test and see what's going on inside of me.
Right.
Because no matter what you do, if you were a combat veteran or even a veteran that worked in the motor pool, some of that stress is going to alter you as a person. Long-term exposure to these things will change your brain. It will change the way your brain processes things, your androgen receptors, how your pituitary gland secretes different hormones. I mean, like for me, when I got tested, it was scary enough that I was at a 120 T count and a 446 in estrogen.
Yeah.
I was basically running on crazy sauce.
Yeah. And that's basically, the standard for people who have been through combat. And, like I said, it causes so much brain trauma that, it might not feel like trauma so much to you, but it does affect your body in a massive way. And almost every single combat vet has a testosterone level that is completely in the garbage. And so that's the first thing I would encourage guys to test and fix if you're coming out of the military, or even if you're still in the military. It's important to get that kind of stuff handled up front before it becomes a long-term problem, starts affecting the rest of your life.
Yes. Like someone that I can actually would love to bring on here is my brother-in-law, Zach. He's a current first sergeant, about to be promoted to a sergeant major over there on the East Coast. He's 3rd Defense AIR. He runs the whole show. And you know what? The guy just got his T level tested over at the VA because he's National Guard. And they're like, you're good to go at 226 at 37 years old. No, you're not.
Yeah, that's typical of the VA. They're not going to consider it a medical issue if it's unless it's below 180.
Right.
And I mean, a male below the age of 40 should have somewhere close to 1,000 or even higher nanograms a deciliter of testosterone.
Oh, yeah.
So to just send a guy out the door with a 200 test level is absurd, in my opinion, because it's affecting so much of their ability physically and mentally.
Brain fog, brain fog, cognitive function. Not only that, how your testes and your genitalia react. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is insane, and you hear about this and there you go, well, why would they say that's okay? Well, because the baseline that these things are tested off of is the 165-pound male with 35% body fat to 20% body fat, which isn't us. Anybody that's been in the military who has had to work their butt off, we come out in a physical form that's higher expected. So you're going to need a higher T level. You're going to need, the ability to maintain the things that you've already put on. Mm-hmm. Is there a point in life where that stuff falls off? Of course there is. You can't be a god forever, as they say. Yeah,
and unfortunately, it's even worse on the civilian side when it comes to stuff like testosterone, because the VA sucks, but when you go to the civilian sector for medical care, the stuff like testosterone levels as a basic standard test level is set by insurance companies. And so basically what that results in is the doctor will look at your labs and see your testosterone level. And if you're below a certain amount, they don't give you testosterone. They give you other medications to remedy the side effects of the low testosterone instead of just giving you the testosterone, right? That's because it's a billable, reoccurring subscription for Big Pharma. It's set by the insurance agencies, and you guys can verify that with a doctor. Go in and ask him. He'll be shocked you're asking him. And probably a little aggravated that you're asking him that, but it's 100% true. I've heard this directly from doctors, directly from insurance companies. Those numbers are set by insurance companies in the civilian world. And so unless you're below that number, they really don't care. And if you're below that number, they don't fix the testosterone level. They give you other medications to cover up your side effects.
100%. You know, and I go to a private doctor outside of the VA, and you know, he knows my baseline. He knows what's healthy for me. He knows my muscle and body fat percentages. He's very smart when it comes to these things, and I feel very lucky to have a guy on my side, you know. But we laughed the other day when, you know, I got my testosterone tested through him, and the insurance that I have came back, and it's like, whoa, you're super high. I was at 1100.
Yeah, which is a good, normal, healthy level for somebody our age.
Yeah, and they were basing that between, you know, and I'm 6'2", almost 230 pounds at times. I bounce between 220 to 230, and you know, yeah, I need a little bit of a higher test level there. You know, the average male, you know, having a 615 to start, that's not bad.
Right.
But if you're an athlete, if you're somebody that's constantly in the gym, like, you are expected to have a higher T level.
Yeah, if you just sit at a desk and don't do anything, a 613 is going to be fine.
Yes, exactly.